Story 1. It was a Friday night during the height of the pandemic. I was single, and the dating scene was non-existent. My friend invited me to this Zoom speed dating event that was happening for singles in our area. Seeing there was nothing better to do, I accepted the invitation. The event was pretty fun at first. Each date would last about 10 minutes. This way, if a person was a total weirdo, you could simply turn off your camera and mute your microphone until the next person appeared. The first two girls were pretty cool. One was a nurse in the local hospital, the other was a lawyer from the city. Everything was going well until Olivia appeared. At first glance, Olivia appeared to be a relatively attractive woman. She had long brown hair and green eyes. The conversation was flowing well at first. She made a joke that she thought I was taking the call from a closet. She said she wanted a tour of my house. As stupid as this sounds, I took the webcam and showed her the rest of my home office. After I sat back down, she started getting a bit too enthusiastic. She was asking me about my biggest fears, where I lived, and if I would be home tomorrow for her to come by and give me a present. Now this was all within literally 5 minutes of meeting her, so I was getting a bit creeped out. I decided to turn off the webcam and wait for the next date. As soon as I turned off the webcam, she started bawling her eyes out. She told me she fell in love with me and could not live without me. She told me that if she couldn't have me, nobody could. She then grabbed a long butcher's knife from beneath her desk and started pointing it at the computer menacingly. At this point, I turned off my computer and quit the speed dating event. This girl was clearly insane, and I was honestly disturbed. Later that night, I went to bed. Just as I was about to doze off, I heard a loud knocking at my front door. Confused, I got up and looked out from my bedroom window. To my absolute horror, Olivia stood at my front door. She was holding that same butcher's knife from earlier. She was jumping up and down and sliding the knife across my wooden front door. I quickly called the police, and they arrived and apprehended Olivia. She was mentally unstable and had escaped from a local psychiatric center. She said she got my address after seeing a letter on my desk while I was giving her a tour of my home office. Stay safe when using Zoom. Sometimes, webcam interactions can turn physical in the blink of an eye. Story 2. It was my freshman year of college. This was all before the start of the pandemic, so everyone was still living on campus. During move-in day, we needed to set up our laptops with the school's internet. I was having some IT troubles, so I needed to head to the IT office for further assistance. After walking into the office, I immediately regretted it. The IT guy on duty was an older man. He looked like he hadn't bathed or shaved in weeks. As soon as he spotted me, he began grinning creepily as I walked into the office. "How can I help you, cutie?" the IT guy asked, with a grin growing even wider. "I'm just having some issues connecting with the Wi-Fi. Can you help me out real quick?" I responded flatly. "Sure, sweetheart. Let me see your laptop," he replied. After about 5 minutes of pressing buttons, he handed me back my laptop. "Here you go, little lady. Name's Carl, by the way," he said with a grin. "Thank you," I replied before walking out. The next few months proceeded normally. Once the pandemic hit, we were all required to attend classes and take finals remotely. At my college, the school monitors us via Zoom when taking final exams. It's annoying, but understandable. It was my last final of the semester, European history. After the final ended, my webcam monitor shut off. A few days passed normally. I would still use my laptop for my personal use and to talk to my friends. Late one night, I received an email from my school's IT department. The body of the email said, "You look really pretty tonight. Love, Carl." I obviously was a bit weirded out, but I remembered Carl and how creepy he was. Besides, I was at home, thousands of miles away. There was no way he could actually see me. I quickly replied to the email, "If you don't leave me alone, I will tell your boss." A few moments later, I received a video clip. It was from an anonymous Gmail account. The video clip was around 120 hours long. It was of me in my bedroom. It recorded me talking to my friends, watching TV, and even getting dressed. I couldn't believe it. Carl must have had access to our webcams for finals, and he somehow managed to maintain access to mine. He had been watching my every move for the past week. I quickly called the school and reported the incident. The school notified the police, and Carl has been taken into custody. Be careful using Zoom. You never know who is watching. Story 3. It was the start of the pandemic. I'm sure you all remember that time when Zoom meetings were unsecured and people were pranking people by joining their Zoom meetings uninvited. Well, one of my college professors assigned us to a group project. We had to write a short play together to be presented to the entire class via Zoom. My partner John sent me a link to a Zoom meeting to meet with him on Thursday night to discuss the project. At the designated time, I clicked on the link and saw that there was one person in the meeting. The webcam wasn't on or anything, it was just a black screen. I figured it was just John and he hadn't turned on his webcam just yet. After waiting for 5 minutes, I heard a robotic voice from the screen. "Hello, Keith. It is nice to meet you. Your computer has some good security systems, but I've been able to learn quite a lot about you quickly." Totally creeped out, I went to exit the Zoom meeting, but as I moved the mouse, I suddenly lost control of my laptop. "You aren't going anywhere, Keith. We have your information and all of those embarrassing photos on your hard drive. Wire us $5,000 by the end of the day to the account number in the chat box, or you'll be sorry." I suddenly realized how serious this was. If this guy had access to everything on my laptop, he had some pretty detailed information about my life, my home address, my school, and as he so eloquently put it, quite a few embarrassing photos of myself. "You're bluffing," I muttered, trying to make him think I wouldn't give in. "If I'm bluffing, check your Instagram." I grabbed my cell phone and booted up the Instagram app. My account had recently posted a picture of me sitting before the webcam. I quickly realized this guy was not messing around. Okay, fine. You'll get your money. Just please, leave me alone." The webcam suddenly shut off and I regained control of my laptop. I know it was dumb, but I wired him the money. I couldn't let the world see all of my personal data. This happened about a year ago, and I haven't heard from the man again. Stay safe when using Zoom. You never know who is truly on the other side of the webcam.